It's 420, and CNBC is honoring this very special date by rolling out a brand new report on the business of pot. Whoever wrote this intro knows much too much about it. CNBC's Trish Regan has the scoop on pot. Hey, Trish.
Well, you know, the way you rolled off 420 off your tongue, Aaron, let's just back up real quick and let our viewers know, because not everybody knows what 420 is. It's a counterculture holiday that started back in the 1970s because a group of high school kids in California used to go smoke pot after school at 420 every day. So just kind of like you have the 5 o'clock as the time to drink. Well, for marijuana enthusiasts, 4:20 p.m. around the world is the time to light up a joint, and most especially on April 20th at 4:20. So with that in mind, we have a huge special report today on marijuana, an in-depth special on the economics, the politics of marijuana in America, and it shows that despite efforts for legalization of recreational pot use in California, the majority of Americans are still opposed to legalization for any purpose, though they support it for medicinal reasons. Now, according to our poll results on CNBC.com, 55% of Americans oppose legalization for any purpose, though 1/3 of the country is in favor. So you can see right there, 33%, about 1/3 of the country actually thinks that this could be something that could be done. Now, here's something that's pretty interesting. Of those that were against legalization for any purpose, some softened when they considered taxing it. In fact, 14% of them turned their vote in favor, provided the tax revenue would go to state programs and services. So it's showing you here that economic incentives here do matter a little bit anyway. Moving on, we want to talk about whether or not it were to be legalized. Most that were polled believe state governments should tax the sale of it. By how much is up for debate. Over 1/3 said a 5% tax would be too low. Almost half say 25% is too high. Of course, economists say, you know, you've got to get the tax rate just right, because otherwise you would drive production back underground if those taxes were too high. And as for who should sell pot if it's actually made legal, this is interesting. Our poll found Americans want to keep pot private. More than half of those surveyed say they would prefer marijuana to be sold by a private business. So that's a pretty interesting commentary. They're not trusting the government to get it right when it comes to the drug. And finally, I want to talk about one of the major problems with marijuana, the fact that it is an underground industry. It opens the doors to enormous crime because it's so profitable, the most profitable drug in the world, in fact. Americans seem to know this. The majority say legalization would reduce crime, or at least crime would stay the same should it be legalized. You know, I have an article on these enormous pot profits along with an excerpt from my upcoming book on this topic on the website. It's at marijuana.cnbc.com. We also have the documentary running again tonight. So a whole lot of pot for 420, Aaron.
That is a lot. And by the way, I will admit, I'm not going to say the producer's name because I wouldn't want to embarrass her. But she knew 420 and I didn't know. She doesn't care. Andrea doesn't care. So there we go. She knew all about it. Anyway, thank you for explaining to those of us who may not have known, Trish.